Just in.
Dinosaurs, just like me.
Hey guys, welcome back, everybody. It's time to get your baby oil and get this whole thing started.
Oh, geez, you had to go there.
Apparently,
first,
we can have freak offs now. They're totally legal. Everything's awesome. So shout out to Puff Daddy, who's
beat the rap.
He beat the rap. It's really interesting to see how disappointed 50 Cent is going to be, and how sad Kid Cudi got his car blown up, and he snitched, and the guy's still going to go to jail. So we're going to see how that whole thing goes. So welcome, guys, to Access Vegas. We're happy to have you guys back. We were gone for a couple of weeks. A couple things. First off, I want to say this for tomorrow. Any of you guys who are coming to Las Vegas tomorrow at 10:30, we have a $5,000 costume competition halfway to Halloween at Tao, Las Vegas. I'm going to be hosting that, so make sure you guys come and make sure you are dressed up like a bottle of baby oil.
Ooh.
Or so like maybe someone pooped on you or something like that.
No.
Freak off, just general freak off stuff is what we're looking for. Additionally, we got another show coming up on the 16th, and then on the 19th we're doing Babes in Toyland in Los Angeles. That's going to be for the troops on the 19th, and then August 14th is going to be Babes in Toyland here
for
Las
Swim
Vegas,
Week.
Las Vegas Swim Week. It is going to be absolute madness. So you guys want to make sure and come check that out. Did you have any announcements?
Yeah, I was going to say during Swim Week from the 12th through I think the 16th, my Reignite guys are going to be here. So we have a whole week-long thing planned. If that's something you guys want to get into, just go to reignitealpha.com and you can sign up for we've got, we're playing Top Golf. We're going to go shooting. I'm trying to think where else we're going to go.
Excess,
yes. We're also
Cree is a 40-year-old divorced man. Can
yes.
you do this?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Would you like to be? Yeah, well, we'll get Cree involved.
They would
somehow.
love to have you show up.
I would love to go
They would
shooting with
die to have
them.
you.
I'll
Yep.
show them how to handle some shit.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
and we're
She's from
also
Compton. She already has her certificate.
we're also
I am certified.
we're also going
out the womb.
ATV riding too, so that's
Ooh.
part of the thing. And
yeah.
so we've got a lot of things. That's just the fun stuff. We also have some educational stuff going on, and then of course the whole thing culminates on the 14th for Babes in Toyland. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Beautiful.
And also just a quick reminder for Miguel and Charlie, their Cultivate Crypto course, the registration for My Link, anyways, closes tomorrow. And they held it open just for My Link, which is the very first one in the description below. So if you guys want to get involved with crypto mindset, Cultivate Crypto, please don't hesitate, especially now because it closes tomorrow at midnight.
One last thing. We are still selling tickets for MOA Summit, which is going to be August 2nd. And, we have a special guest speaker. It's going to be mystery. Eric Von Markovic is going to come speak. He's an old friend of mine for the last 20 years. And so he's going to come. I wasn't sure if he's going to make it. Turns out he got to Las Vegas today. So shout out to Eric. I'm going to be taking him out in the next couple of weeks. And so I'm excited to have him. If you guys want to sit and listen to us, Eric and I are going to do a one-on-one discussion about how things have changed over the last 20 years when it comes to pickup, when it comes to dating apps, when it comes to social circle game and stuff like that. So once again, if you guys want to buy tickets, hit me up or hit Tristan up. And if you guys want to buy tickets to MOA Summit, which is coming up on August 2nd. Beautiful. Let me introduce our guest for today. She's from Compton, California. Hey now. Hey, she's a content creator. She's an influencer, whatever all that means. It is Cree. Welcome back, Cree.
Hey, guys.
Hey, she's back. All right. He is from New York. He is the MOA customer satisfaction leader. It is Tristan. Tristan, welcome
Harvard
back.
graduate.
There we go, Tristan. Good to have you back. All right. She is from Stockton, California. She's a bartender at Jewel Nightclub. It is West. How you doing, West?
Hello
So good to have
again.
you. I believe you had the most people wanting to marry you after the last episode.
Yes.
Wife me up.
Wife you up. There we go. And you just broke up with your girlfriend too, right?
She broke up with me.
She broke up with you.
So
Okay.
I'm available.
So she's available
I'm
now.
on the market.
Okay.
She's vulnerable.
Wow.
Vulnerable, yes.
That's fine.
She's vulnerable. Okay. She is from Mystic, Iowa. She's the owner of Catwalk Caddies. It is
Hello,
Miss
hello.
Monrare. There she is.
Hi.
Welcome back, Miss
Back
Monrare.
for the 10th time on this
That's
show.
right. She's an investor at the Hippo. She's from Las Vegas, Nevada, and we've been friends for 15 years now. It is Crystal Bex. Miss Bex, how you doing?
So happy to be back.
Yeah, so happy to be back.
Our successful matchmaking service
That's right.
as well.
She's a bartender at the Hippo. She's also from Las Vegas. First time here. Welcome, Deja. All right. And he is from Sault Ste. Marie, host of Ladies Night and the coach in the School of Unplugged. It is Spencer Kane. Welcome, Spencer, here for the first time.
Don't say where I'm from too loud. ICE might deport me.
Yeah, that's funny. And then finally, she's from the Bay Area. She's she's from Guangdong, China. She is an influencer. Let's welcome her again. It's Asian Barbie doll. Asian Barbie doll returning back. And then, of course, she's from the Bay Area. She's a bartender on the Strip. Welcome back, Claire, again. How you doing, Claire?
I'm good.
There we go. Good to have everybody
Ready to do
here.
it again.
All right. Beautiful. Let's get into the first video.
Oh, boy. You ready for this?
Please, could you turn up the volume, Kyle?
Oh, my God. I can't even believe we're starting with this.
It's a Frico and not a Rico. That's a whole lot of not guilties. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know for a fact R. Kelly is somewhere distraught. Like, this is for sinners. How the fuck? What? Same with Kid Cudi. I know, like, this nigga blew up my whip. Blew up my car because I was talking to his girl. And this, what? He has a possibility of walking free? Now, the judge did deny bail. He said, yeah, I'm going to see you for sentencing. You're not going to have no summer freak off out here, my boy. But come October, they saying this is a maximum of 20 years. I don't see that happening. Technically, you flying the girl out, put her in an Uber, y'all start fucking, fly her ass back. It's like, she kind of a prostitute. So it's like, there's a debate to be had here. But at the same time, it's like, we seen what he did to Cassie in that video. We know he blew up a whip. It's just like, how the fuck this going down? Like, the prosecution, where did y'all fuck up at? And then for real, who else was at these freak-offs? That's what I think it comes down to. Is he was like, I ain't gonna snitch. We're gonna see how this system play out. Fuck all that. Now we know no other names of who he was being trafficked to, supposedly. The fact that a bunch of people was out there that Diddy do not know was celebrating with baby oil like they've been in the freak off themselves is absolute egregious activity. And you gotta wonder, what are you doing in your day-to-day life that you celebrating like this? While all this is happening, very interesting cases has been swept under the rug. A man named Earl Smith was found hanging by a fucking tree in the middle of a park in Albany. And immediately everybody was like, now that's just not how a black man would choose to kill himself, with no letter, no man, nothing. And police immediately was like, no, it was suicide. Now people are like, wait, well, where's the footage? Everything has footage. Could we see? How did he get there? This is a park, community spot. The street light footage. What's going on with that? And they just refuse to release it, which raises the question, who the fuck did it? And the fact this is not national news is very eye-opening to me, because what do you mean? This is the lynching. You saw this man not trying to become a dictator, because everybody keep on telling me he's just the president, but I hold all the levers. I will save New York City. I'm not going to let a communist lunatic be the mayor of New York. I will deport and arrest him if I have to. You're talking about Zoran, and it's just like, wait, what do you mean you hold all the leverage? Day 2 of Alligator Alcatraz, and as you can see, it's flooding because obviously it was not well built. Imagine when a hurricane hit. We'll see an alligator flying by. Marge Vera, you guessed it, death. That dweebs can't understand that both of these are mad inhumane and that a normal human being shouldn't support other humans being kept like this. But
There you go.
All right, awesome, guys. With the
Is that all this guy does? He just reacts to all the
he
news?
just reacts. He said Lawrence Johnson, I believe is his name. So the first thing is he was not found guilty on 3 of the 5 counts, so he doesn't get the whole RICO life in prison sentence. I believe he can get up to 20 years for the 2 counts of trafficking for the intent of prostitution. I forgot exactly what the counts were. That's what he's been found guilty of. And the funny thing is, we all saw the video where he beat the living crap out of Cassie Ventura, right? And then also he did blow up Kid Cudi's car. Let's not be obviously. That
You know what makes sense now?
He's such a
Did
Scorpio.
anyone see after the trial came out all the Kanye tweets? He's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I'm praying for Diddy's family."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, this makes sense. He has some shit on him."
Yeah. So there was that. But the main issue was this. When you guys notice how every week the story got crazier and crazier. People were getting the baby oil and people getting pooped on and all this kind of stuff. This
I'm just waiting for him to kill himself.
This
That's
is
what
not,
I'm waiting
this
for.
is this is all supposed to come out in discovery, right? What happens is this is the district attorney, this is the prosecutor's office leaking all this little information to sort of like pollute the news cycle in their favor. But the more that's generally a sign of desperation. Like if you have an ironclad case on someone for like first-degree murder, you're not leaking things to the press. You don't need to do that, right? You're going to win the case. I think this is a situation where the more crazy stuff I heard about the trial, the more I started to question, is that illegal? Now, I don't want to hang out with Puff Daddy. The guy beat the crap out of Cassie Ventura. He definitely made people have sex with prostitutes. He definitely used his position of power to extort people sexually. He definitely did all of that. He wasn't just tax evasion or he wasn't just selling drugs. He did some pretty foul stuff. So I wouldn't want to hang out with the dude. But the more I listened to this case, the more I started wondering, like, how are they going to convict him on this?
Right.
Like, it was very confusing how this whole thing was going to happen. And here's the craziest part: because they didn't convict him, he's not going to snitch, because I think he would have snitched in 2 seconds had he had the opportunity to do so and told everybody who was at these Diddy parties. And then there's these two circles that we all want to know, right? Who was on Epstein Island and who was at the Diddy party, and then who's in both.
That connection?
Who's in both circles?
Right.
And we wanted to figure out
common denominator.
Yeah, who we wanted to figure out who all those people are. Anyway, what did you think, Cree? What do you think about the trial and the verdict?
Well, I think that they don't have shit. I mean, I think that he's a horrible person for putting his hands on a woman. And I mean, I don't think it's a crime for him to be a freak. I don't think it's a crime for him to have parties, as long as there's no underage people, as long as everyone was consenting, people got paid. Like, what? I don't understand what the big hullabaloo is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tinted. Maybe I'm jaded because I live in Vegas. But what the fuck?
Tristan, you know, you're from New York. This guy represents you. I'm just curious. What do you think about this trial? And this verdict?
The parties were great. But anyway, no. I don't know. I just think that I wish they offered him a deal, only because I just want to know like who was all in on it.
Yeah.
That's all I would care about. Like I bet LeBron was there. I bet 50 was at a
Well,
bunch of
LeBron
those
said it.
parties.
He goes, "Ain't no party like a Diddy
Ain't no
party."
party like a Diddy
Yeah,
party.
he said that.
You really think 50 was there?
I don't think 50
I
was
think
there.
I think 50 was at these parties and realized, oh, Diddy's a homosexual and stopped going to these parties.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a podcast. Have you ever seen it where
He's
Diddy,
like, hey, Diddy tried to take him shopping. He tried to take 50
yeah,
Cent
I
shopping.
remember
50 Cent.
that.
Did he just ask me to go shopping? Did another man ask me to go shopping with him? So there was that whole thing.
Now, there is a $10 million civil suit that just got brought up though from one of the strippers or somebody.
No, it's from Daphne Joy.
Daphne Joy.
Shout out to Daphne. I met Daphne and I threw an event at Liquid Pool 12 years ago. Yeah, she used to work for Shreds, I think. That was it. She was one of the promo girls.
It's a $10 million civil suit
against Puff Daddy. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting that like she would allow that to have happened in her life. So let me say one other thing. Of course, what Sean Combs did is terrible, and I wouldn't want to be associated with it, and I wouldn't want any of my family members to be associated with it. But what Cassie Ventura did was also terrible, and we're giving her this excuse because she was 21 years old that she is not held accountable for recruiting people to come to these parties and you know, do whatever she did with drugs or whatever. And my main problem with this is these same people who are saying that it's okay that she did what she did because she's too young would not have had a problem if she decided to get an abortion. They would not have had a problem if she decided to vote for Kamala Harris. They would not have had a problem if she decided to join the U.S. military. They would not have had they would have no problem if she had done any of those things. And here's the other thing. When I was 21 years old, I was very stupid. I was very, very stupid. But I knew I didn't want to get pissed on. I knew at 21 I did not want someone to defecate on me. I knew that very well that I didn't want that to happen to me.
That's because you're insecure.
I think I knew that too.
I knew that probably at 7 or 8, maybe 5.
But did they offer you a
That's
record
because
deal?
you weren't rich enough.
I knew I didn't. So this idea that like I just
Did you have a record deal on the table?
huh?
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't
What's
know.
on the table?
money.
I think that's the whole thing here. It's like Cassie Ventura still cheated on her boyfriend and recruited people for these parties, and she's kind of getting off scot-free here now. And so
do
that's
you know
the
who I
issue
feel more bad for was the fact that she gave the testimony of everything she did, and her husband's like right behind her, listening to all of this in the trial.
Yeah, and the crazy part is she cheats on her husband. He wasn't husband at the time, a boyfriend, before this happens, and then he deals with all this drama, and then they get married 7 years ago.
Gosh.
He marries her 7 years ago, which is, I mean, I think it also, like, when I hear that, I think 1,000 men waiting to have sex with Bonnie Blue. Like, that was the first thought, like that level of desperation. Wes, what do you think?
About what?
About the Diddy trial?
I think that they did push out the information because they were seeking desperation. I think this is an example of the prosecution not having, went in full force too fast and didn't collect, premature, and didn't prepare their case as well as they should have. I'm glad that they got some charges, but it does sadden me that they weren't able to do all that they did because they thought, oh yeah, I have a for sure case in, and then they present the information, and Diddy has a lot of money, so he got the best defense team, and if you're not good at if you don't prepare for that, then clearly it shows in the case.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Shine?
I think it's absolutely wild, but at the same time, wasn't he like prosecuted for the whole Cassie thing separately? Wasn't that already settled?
It's a civil suit.
I thought, no.
Wait, what state was this?
So there's something, you know what, let me look this up, but something to do with statute of limitations for criminal charges, because I remember the police department in that municipality making a statement on Twitter about how they couldn't charge him. Yeah. So I don't know, don't quote me on that. I could have got that one wrong. Somebody Perplexity that, but I think there is no criminal charges for him kicking Cassie. I believe that is the case.
None.
I believe she didn't press charges in time or something like that.
Usually it's like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, okay. Which is really interesting. No statute of limitations on murder, but apparently there's statute of limitations on kicking the shit out of your girlfriend. It's good to know that. It's good to know that type of information. All right. Anyway.
Prosecute soon.
Yeah, prosecute.
I feel like that shouldn't have even been held because the hotel wasn't releasing the footage.
Yeah.
So it's like, how was she supposed to have evidence?
Of course. Yeah, she could have argued that. What do you think, Deja?
Oh, I love my opinions. I think that there were a lot of powerful people involved, and I think they ensured that he wasn't going to take all of the heat because he would have ensured that they went down with him. And
well, because of the not guilty verdict, they don't have to Epstein him. Epstein got
that was my
shot
point.
with a suicide gun. They don't have to Epstein him. Yep.
Suicide, yeah. S word. For the feds to come at you with the RICO case, that takes years to build. Years of evidence.
I also felt like it was a stretch. Like, he's not Al Capone. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like he's having gay sex. Which is,
well, wasn't he a cuck? Wasn't he like?
Yeah.
Sitting
Oh, yeah.
Again,
I don't think he was having sex at all.
Cree, you're making my point for me. Like,
Okay.
The fact that that he was a cuck tells me the prosecution was so desperate.
They were
had
so
to release that.
Because suck his balls.
He said, "Do what I say in the dark."
Doing that apparently, in the United States is not against the law.
Yeah, just
That's
watching.
why when I heard that, I was like, oh, they must be desperate.
I think it was well known in his circle.
Right? I mean,
it was so well known. Oh my God, have you seen the videos of Ashton Kutcher having a ball?
Ashton Kutcher, I
he
love
was
Ashton
having
Kutcher, don't
his
ruin
best
that.
life at those parties. And
No.
there's so many videos of him. Like, oh my God, yes. Like, there's so many people involved.
From Iowa.
Ashton
I
Kutcher.
think it's a lot. It's like comparable to Epstein. Like, there's just so many different angles, so many different people. I wouldn't be
my
surprised if
God.
Obama was there. Like,
Oh my God.
honestly.
Wow.
No shade to Barack. I love your tan suit.
Nice. What do you think?
This was the first time I heard about Cassie telling her story in front of her husband.
Yeah.
How could you be married to her still after
Well,
that?
how about this? How about the part where she FaceTimed him while she was having sex with
No,
Diddy?
she
That's
did?
insane.
Yeah, so she did that.
What?
Wow.
I didn't
I
know
think they're
that.
both cucks, honestly.
Yeah.
I think she's got a thing.
All
for, like,
legal.
Yeah, again, so we
All
keep saying these
legal.
things, and like it sounds more outlandish every time you talk about it. and then you're like, oh, but it's not illegal. And so that's where we get in this weird place where we were trying to convict him for being a closet homosexual.
Or
like that was the problem. Like, while like there were things you could convict him on, that's just not one of them. But the prosecution tried to use that to taint the jury, and it backfired. Right.
Exactly.
Well, there was a reason it was tried in New York.
Huh?
There was a reason it was tried in New York compared to wherever his other residences are. New York has a habit of doing this and kind of picking on rich people, in my opinion. Not that they're great people, the people that they're taking down, like Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly and stuff, but they usually try them in New York because New York has over 95% success rate of prosecuting these
how
guys.
mad is R. Kelly right now, for real?
Oh, he's
right.
He's rocking back and forth in his cell.
He's R. Kelly's in his cell doing a concert right now.
Got a better a lawyer.
But my thing is that there are so many people who came forward reporting that there were so many children there, like not even like underage, like for like kids, like 5 years old.
Oh,
like,
no.
children.
If
And
they
so
were
it's like, what happened to all that?
Yeah, if there were any minors, if anyone was forced, like truly forced or
How
truly
old was
drugged,
Justin
and they didn't know
Bieber when he
that's
was doing
100% wrong.
Yeah,
of course.
but at the end of the day, people are.
My question is,
you gotta wonder.
There is no municipality in the country that has more money to prosecute than the Southern District of New York.
Right.
And so I'm a little confused why, if that was true, they couldn't have found evidence on it. I think that would have been something.
If that's true, because the people who were doing it are so powerful. It was Obama.
But rich people want to do drugs and bang 304. It's just a fact of life. Like, get over it.
It's fine.
Like, I don't know what the news is there.
Yeah. Claire, what do you think about this? I know you were very distraught about this. What were your feelings, Claire?
I think that they just didn't have enough evidence, but he's definitely weird. Like, he definitely needs to be locked up. Like,
I'm excited for Kanye West and Puff Daddy to do a tour of the country. They're going to produce some fire music.
Some good new music.
Yeah, how long do you think it is before he drops the song?
Yeah,
right
it's
when
going to
he
be.
gets out.
He's like, all you motherfuckers better watch out.
I will never forgive him for what he did to Diddy Kane.
Yeah.
So
oh my gosh, I love
What did he do?
Diddy Kane.
Oh my God, he screwed them over so bad.
Aubrey O'Day is so pissed right now too. Probably.
Do you remember when she came out before the
Yes,
trial
she
hit,
came
and she
out,
was like,
she was on a whole rampage.
Okay, so long story short, Aubrey O'Day came out probably like a year prior to the trials hitting like public. And she was like, Diddy came to me. He tried to make me sign an NDA, and all the other girls signed it, but I refused. And X, Y, and Z is going to happen. But I stood my ground, just all this crazy stuff. If you don't know, she was a member of Diddy Kane from making the band.
It's a reality show, and he was like super rude. Like he kind of used that to be rude to them.
Yeah, he made them walk to Brooklyn.
For a cheesecake.
He made them walk to Brooklyn for a cheesecake.
Barbie, what do you think about the fact that Puff Daddy was not found guilty on some of those charges?
I don't know.
All right, there we go. That's all, dude. I am so happy she came out here. That's my audience is going crazy. They just wanted to hear Asian Barbie doll. Can you have any opinion in Mandarin? No.
I don't know. Maybe some people are crazy and.
That's the
they
wisdom.
are crazy.
That's the wisdom we're looking for.
Yeah, but I do some crazy stuff too. Cause my manager one other people focus me, and she advised me to do that. So I did. I will hear.
Yeah.
But not each time. Yeah. Maybe some people just want other people get focus of them.
Yeah.
Do something, make some. Yeah.
Do something with someone else.
All right. No more baby oil. There we go.
I like to point one thing out, though. We're letting P. Diddy off for all this stuff. It's completely legal. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But we're doing this at the same time that Marilyn Manson just got canceled for his opening show in, what is it, Brighton Center in the UK because of the allegations of his sexual assault that were dropped in January.
When was
I didn't
that?
hear
Marilyn Manson?
Just today or just this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So P. Diddy gets off scot-free, but Marilyn Manson,
whole
no
I
way.
mean, that's because Marilyn
Look at
Manson
Marilyn
has
Manson.
an image.
First date was canceled, yes.
Like,
So I would like to
I
say,
believe
Marilyn Manson
anyone said.
worse than P. Diddy.
Oh my God.
Apparently.
I mean,
I just
But
want to
if
know
P.
what
Diddy
Vegas
looked
club
like
is going to
Marilyn
give Diddy a
Manson.
residency. That's all I
Yes,
give
yes,
him a
exactly.
Embassy.
I mean,
Hilarious from the past right there. All right, we got another video.
Yes, we
Just
do.
pick them and let's
All
just
right.
keep going.
Let's go with here your favorite topic, your favorite subject.
If a girl lets you have a threesome with her and another girl, she don't like you like that. And if a girl brings up a threesome with you and another girl, she don't like you like that, bro. There's nothing cool about a threesome, number one. Especially when you're with a girl that you're dating or you're in a relationship with, because that just shows me this girl don't even like you, bro.
She wouldn't share you if she
wouldn't
like that.
share you with another fucking woman.
1000%.
And you have videos of these guys who are dating multiple women. Those girls don't even like you, bro.
Yeah.
Because if a girl every single good quality girl I've been with, she would get pissed if a girl was even flirting with me.
Yep.
That's how you know that girl likes you for who you are.
That's a good sign right there.
That's a good sign. If she doesn't give a fuck, that girl's not with you for the right reasons. So if a girl lets you cheat on her and she's cool with that, she don't like you like that, bro. Women are similar to cats. I have a cat. Anytime I would bring another cat over, do you know how territorial my cat would get?
Yeah.
My cat wouldn't even let that other cat fucking near me. Hissing the entire time. Women are the same way. They're not going to share their man
Very true.
with another woman.
All right, Bex, go.
Quick. Ethical non-monogamy. Go.
Ethical non-monogamy. Okay, well, geez, where do I even start?
Do you agree or disagree?
For most people, I think that's true. I think in some ways I disagree, right? So, not necessarily like hooking up with someone, but how he was saying like another girl would get mad or my girlfriend would get mad if another girl was even like flirting with me or hitting on me. Why would I want a guy that can't get any girls? Yeah. Why would I want a guy that gets no attention?
That's a very
that no other girls want. That no other girls want. That no one is gonna look at. Like, why would I want a guy that's ugly and boring and no one wants to talk to? Why?
Dave, what do you think? Is it possible that a woman may want to have threesomes with her man and still love her man?
I am that woman, yeah. I have totally been in that situation, but I feel like there's a threshold.
Yeah.
Two things. It depends on how the man reacts.
Yes.
And it depends on how much I like the man.
Yeah.
The man cannot react like he likes it too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my
Even
point.
if it's the woman's idea. Okay, men, listen to me. Even if it's your girlfriend's idea, you cannot. You have to pretend like you don't like it as much as you
take
do.
it.
You can't be too excited about the other.
Can't be too excited.
So it needs to
Can't
be
be too
like,
in-
I'm
Okay.
Like,
I'll
no,
do this for you,
Yeah.
Bex.
Right.
Okay. Fuck this other girl for you because I love you, honey.
You
Oh
sure?
my God.
You
Can't
be
sure?
too excited about
Are
it.
you sure you want me to
You
do
sure?
that?
You sure?
Good.
That's just my advice. Don't be too into it.
Yes. What do you think about this?
Some of the girls I've dated that had the most genuine desire, even if they were straight, still questioned, maybe I'll do a threesome just because I'm interested in it.
Interesting. Claire, what do you think?
I honestly no, I would if you really like somebody or if I'm in love with somebody, I'm not gonna want them to get with another girl,
course.
even in front of me. I'm not okay with that because I'll fight. I don't know.
I'll fight a bitch.
I love it. I love it.
I can't.
Barbie, would you have a threesome with your man if you loved him? Would you have a threesome with your man if you loved him?
Explain it in
Two
basic
girls
math.
and one guy
There.
with your man if you loved him. Would you have a threesome?
Two girls
And one guy.
and one guy.
Yeah.
And
Would you do that with your man? If you had a boyfriend.
wait a second. Who is that?
Who is that?
Exactly. I got it. Curry, what do you think?
Well, I have been in this situation before, and honestly, it's like the guy's just like a toy there. He's just like a toy. He's just around because he's a guy.
So what you're saying is, but you're saying you agree with him that you wouldn't like a guy.
I mean, maybe it depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay.
It depends. It's hard when you guys put it like that. I'm just like, what?
Okay. Tristan, what do you think?
Okay, I'm not gonna comment on whether this is true or not, but I don't believe for a second that this motherfucker believes what he's saying. I don't believe that at all.
Okay, interesting.
He's clearly just saying this to pander and get views.
Yeah, interesting. West, do you think a woman can have threesomes with her man and still love him very much?
First of all, I want to say hi to Siege, who said, "Oh, yay, West is back." Hi to you too. What a woman. I mean, I love women, so like, if a man is interested in doing it, like, yeah, and if the woman's down, like, yeah, if he's not attractive enough to pull women just like I pull women,
yeah,
that's not attractive.
Got it.
But I'm so down, so I'll try anything,
Okay.
you know?
Shine, what do you think?
I actually have a lot to say. So I've been in both situations where I had a threesome with a guy that I was in love with, and I've also had a threesome with a guy I was not in love with. And the guy I was not in love with was much more fun because I wasn't worried about what the other girl's doing or how much time they're fucking. But I also think it plays a big part in if the girl actually really likes girls. Like if she would be with the girl on her own.
Wow.
Yeah, if she's like gonna hook up with a girl on her own, then yeah, she probably can have sex with someone that she loves with the threesome.
Wait, do you prefer if the girl is more into you versus the guy?
Oh yeah, if I'm having a threesome, I want the girl to pay way more attention to me.
Got it. Okay. So
you're not.
And it takes trust. It takes trust.
So I'm gonna address this. If you watch that video on Instagram, you'll see in the comments it's actually women disagreeing with him because obviously what he's saying isn't true. Of course, he completely forgets the idea of bisexual women, number one. And number two, it's pretty clear he's just never been invited to have a threesome, which is why he's saying this. And then there's all these women disagreeing with him, and then he calls them all hoes in the comments.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he calls them hoes in the comments.
Ooh.
So of course this is ridiculous. Like I know 10 couples married for 10 years. The woman is bisexual. She's slightly more into men than women, but loves her husband, and they have threesomes all the time. So this is when he says this, it's from a lack of his own experience. And the other thing is, you guys notice I'll talk in statistics on this show. What happen often is because Sadia Khan had a similar video where she's like, no woman would ever let her man have sex with another woman. And then you see the same thing here. It's like any woman that would even bring up a threesome, he goes, threesomes aren't that cool. I know for a fact you've never had a threesome after I heard that statement. I bet any amount of money. So that's the thing.
I got a really great super chat question here.
Okay.
For this. Okay. I got to do this quick while it's still hot. Question for the women who are okay with threesomes. Would you still be okay with it if the girl was demonstrably hotter than you are?
Nope.
Yes, can I record it?
Yeah, I need content.
Yes, but I wouldn't do it if I didn't really, really trust the man.
Okay.
It has to be a deep level of trust with the man.
Okay. So the other thing I want to point out is, are you attracted to women?
Yes, I love women.
You're attracted to women?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you guys understand? Like, it's when you use hyperbole on these videos to get views. That's why I'm going to react. Like, I don't know the guy, the content creator who made that thing, but he is objectively incorrect because he's not taking into account bisexual women, number one. And number two, it's like, even though there were a bunch of women disagreeing with him in the chat, he couldn't square the circle. What's happened instead is he probably has guy friends who've had threesomes, and he needs a way to kind of like dunk on them because he's not getting invited to have any. And that's how he ended up in this situation. And I'd love to debate him if he wants to debate. And I will literally bring married couples on that have threesomes all the time, and then that kind of stuff.
Diddy and Cassie had threesomes.
Huh?
Diddy and Cassie
had threesomes. That's clearly love.
Like
she said she loved him very much. So that kind of
love.
case closed, right? Case closed. Awesome.
Okay, I got one more question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so is it better if it's the guy's idea or if it's your idea?
It can't be the guy's idea.
Never give
Guys
the
are not
man
It can't be the
allowed.
guy's idea.
The guys are not allowed to have
Don't
ideas.
ever do that.
No.
If you're a guy, don't do it.
I can take this one. Okay. You as a dude have to act like you're doing her a favor, bro. If you like, again, I as somebody like, the girls that I date, generally they want to do this. They're the ones who bring it up. And when we do that, it's like I need to like cooperate in making it happen, but I can't be excited about doing it.
Can't be too.
You got it.
And I'll even have a discussion with the other girl, be like, you need to be all over my girlfriend. And then if they do that, as long as Like I had one girl that I was dating, and she would be apprehensive about it until the other girl jumped all over her. Then she's all about it, and it was the greatest experience ever.
Ladies first.
There you go. You understand. So
yes.
that's generally the way that it works.
There we go.
That's for the bisexual threesome. If we're talking about like the cocaine famous, my name is Grant,
Right.
Michael B. Jordan.
Go do it.
Do Motley threesome. That's a different type of threesome. Okay, the Machine Gun Kelly threesome is a different kind of threesome.
All right, God, this was the funniest video you gave. I saw this. I was going to use this on my Saturday show, but I didn't, and now I regret it.
Girlfriend's going to be rating my exes on a scale of 1 to 10. You ready?
No.
How do you feel about this one? This is my
Why
high
does she
school.
low-key look just like me?
She do kind of. Maybe I got a
supposed
type.
to rate her?
Yeah, rate her 1 to 10.
That's so weird. I'm not doing that.
I gotta rate
She's
her.
like a 7 or something. I don't know.
All
What
right,
the
7.
hell?
I do got a type, low key. All right, this is the second ex. This one I had right before college. It was just like only like 3 months.
I'm not gonna lie. She looks like a straight up bitch. She
Okay.
looks like a bitch. Why is her face like that?
I don't know.
I'm not trying to judge. I'm sure she's a great person.
Yeah.
Oh
You gotta
my
rate
God.
her,
The
though.
bangs are kind of crazy on her. I'm like,
She do go crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
kinda glowing, though.
She be going crazy on it. All right. Rate her 1 to 10.
oh, like a 4.
Okay, how we feeling?
Oh!
What? This was just a late night snack.
Is that your granny?
I wasn't dating her. This was like a late night snack.
Oh my! What do you mean late night snack? She's like 60 years old. Is she already dead?
It don't matter.
When? Oh my!
Rate her.
Whoa!
1 to 10.
Oh my God!
1 to 10.
You were touching those.
1 to 10.
No, but you were touching
I was doing
those.
more than that. 1 to 10.
Oh God!
1 to 10.
Gimme
1 to 10.
3.
All right, how we feeling on this one? I don't know why it's so horizontal, but
She looks so familiar. I don't know how I've seen her before. I like her glasses. Okay, this one's actually really cute. This is reasonable, but like,
I do got me a type,
you
don't
don't
I?
think? Why do you keep saying
Dang,
that
don't
shit?
hit me like that.
Okay, but you don't think she's like prettier than me, right?
No, I don't know.
She got nice.
Okay, 1 to 10.
Is this a picture you fucking kept of her?
Maybe, who
You
cares?
screenshotted it? Why do you still have it?
1 to 10.
I don't know, like a 9.
Cool.
Ugly ass bitch.
How we feeling about this?
I don't like how she's looking at me like that at all.
She looks super cute. Okay, this
You
was
mean super
this was
cute?
right before us.
Right before us?
Yeah.
And you took that? You don't take me to lunch?
Well, she probably paid. She had hella money.
Well, you said that you only like girls with
Okay,
brown
1 to
eyes.
10.
I don't like how she's fucking staring at me.
So what are you feeling?
I'm giving her like a 5, basic average.
All right,
That's
she went
what I
crazy
think.
on
Basic average.
What?
Oh my God,
All right,
that's funny.
ladies, who here gets the joke? Anybody?
Who understands?
I get the joke.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are all the most famous porn stars in the world.
Yes.
Okay, I'll only get one of them.
So he basically said that these are all my exes, and it was hilarious.
Fucking hilarious.
What do you guys think? Would you, if your ex had hit you up and showed you all of his exes?
Like, congratulations.
I've actually asked guys that before.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a trick. I'll be like, "Oh, show me what kind of girls you're into," and then they
Is
show me
it
their
like
whole
a-
following
is it like a
list, and I know who to delete.
Is it like a test to see if he gets girls like you? Is that like why you're doing it?
I need to know his type so I know who to look out for.
Yeah.
Didn't you say something? Was it you that said something? I'm not interested in a guy who can't get his dream girl. Didn't you? Was it you that said that?
I think it was.
Oh, would you? Would
Like
you?
recently?
Yeah. Yeah. Like if a guy
5 minutes
If
can't,
you can't get girls.
if he can't get
If he can't
girls
get
that
girls,
look
like,
like
yeah,
you,
why?
then it might be that there's something wrong that you're about to find out about,
Mhm.
right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Claire, what do you think? Would you want to see all your boyfriend's exes? No.
Yeah.
Claire, I'm afraid to ask you questions. I think you're going to cry sometimes. I don't know. Are you okay?
Speaking
Grab the mic.
My ex, like, okay, I've only had like 3 ex-boyfriends and didn't have girlfriends before me. So
Okay, you're one of those. Yeah, a little
You
crazy.
go for the innocent ones.
That's what I like to hear. All right, Claire.
What's your type? Virgin.
Virgin.
That's
Claire,
fun
what do you
too.
think? Do you want to see all your exes' girlfriends?
Honestly, I would like to see. I would like to see, and I would like to know, and I would like to show my mom. So that
That's it.
Wait. Explain the mom part.
Of that.
Explain the mom part.
Oh my
Explain the mom
God,
part.
that's funny.
because my mom knows how to read bitches down. Okay, I know how to read some shit, but I know how to, I can kind of imprint some things about this man based upon the women that they've chosen, in the past before me. Because I mean, when it comes to me, it's a different story.
God, her response to Brandy Love was the funniest
Yeah,
one
it's
of
like,
that whole
goes,
thing.
oh, you were touching
You were
those.
touching those. What is she,
You were-
60?
She's like 60? Hey, it's fine. It's a late night snack. You guys understand what that means, right? Come on, bro. We don't care.
It is.
Stop
5
judging.
a.m. at Exit.
Stop judging
My
us.
brother's starving. Oh
Need a
my
little
God.
Titty Tuesday every once in a
I
while.
wonder how
judging
many
us.
questions she asked after they were done recording.
No, I'm sure he told her.
He
It's
told
like
her
it's
later.
a joke.
Yeah.
I was gonna go mega viral. Do we have another one?
Oh yeah. Which one to do? Let's go. Let's do this one.
I tell you to leave me alone, and you leave me alone, you're legit dead to me. Like, I can't believe you fucking could do that. That's crazy. Like, I was legit talking to a guy, and I said, I don't think we should speak anymore. And he goes, okay, haven't heard from him in 5 days. Wow, that was too easy. The fact that your life just went on like that, like I was nothing.
Go, West.
I think that's honestly, I think it's really inconsiderate and like very immature for her to say something and then expect the opposite. That's very immature. She was communicating what she wanted, and the guy loved himself so much that he walked away.
Almost passive aggressive, huh? Yeah.
No way.
I don't want
just want to see all the women supporting her in the comment section.
Yeah,
I support her.
We reacted to one you guys remember a couple years ago where the girl was like, this guy kept trying to have sex with me and I kept stopping him. And like I stopped him like twice and then he just went home. And I'm like, why did this guy not keep trying to have sex with me? Like, what kind of a weirdo this is? And I'm just thinking, dudes are going to watch this video and then ended up with SA charges in jail because they listened to this one. Guys, you don't know how confusing you are. You have no idea how you will tell us to do one thing and then do something else. You will sit there and tell us you want a nice guy who reads while all of your exes were narcissists. It makes no sense. That's why, like, I'll be honest with you.
Wait, Mike, can we pull up the survey that we were talking about?
Yeah, we see if we can find it. The best way to understand women is to stop listening to them. Just pay attention to their actions. Just pay attention to their actions. That's it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I got a good one here for you.
If I tell you to go away, you better show up.
That's what I'm saying. But you see how toxic
You better show up.
That is so
I'm not
toxic.
talking about like a random person that I tell go away, but like a boyfriend, I'm like, go away, leave me alone. I block you. You
Yeah,
better
but-
email me.
I'm not opposite.
Okay.
Like,
You better call me from a different number. You better
You see
show
what she
up
said?
and
I'm
fight
the
for me.
opposite. Do you understand how there is no roadmap? We are just walking through a minefield as
Women love to be
This is
chased.
the reason why he did the right thing. He's being criticized for doing the correct thing. If a woman gives me any kind of complexity whatsoever, I'm just leaving because like she said, I love myself enough to do that.
There's another video like this where I think it's actually by the same girl, but the caption of the video is like, oh, when the guy kept friend zoning, finally gets a girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, wait, come back.
Yeah.
Come back. Why did you move on?
So toxic.
I just feel like there's a huge difference between logical thinkers and emotional thinkers.
Yes, that is
And-
true. It's called
and-
an XY chromosome. That's the difference. That's it.
All right, bro, relax.
That's the difference in thinking.
Oh my god, these friends are so annoying.
My friend's asking me to go on a girls trip with them.
Nope.
Wait, why?
Because I don't like your friends.
Well, we don't like you either. Why don't you like them?
Because she's emotional and she wants to party every night.
Just because I hook up with every person I see doesn't mean I'm a
When you have a boyfriend, it does.
Okay, I understand why you don't like her, but what do my emotions have to do with you not liking me?
Every time we're around you, you're crying with a new problem and I have to deal with it.
How do you deal with it?
Because Debbie hates it too, and then she complains to me about how annoying you are. See what I mean?
No, I'm not gonna cry. You are really emotional.
There she goes.
And what's wrong with wanting to party and have fun?
It's not a problem if you're single. She's not.
Are you that insecure that you don't trust her to party without you?
Oh, I trust her. I just don't trust you or the other single horny guys that don't care if she's in a relationship.
Babe, don't you think you're being a little bit ridiculous?
That reminds me that I'm going on a boys trip with Justice, Matt, and Kevin this weekend.
No, I don't like them. All they do is cheat, party, and they're emotional.
Oh, I see it now.
Thank you. Anyways, have fun on your trip. She's not coming.
Oh, hell no.
What do you think, Cree? Cree, what's your response to that?
Hell no. Like, first of all, you're not gonna read my friends for filth like that. Anything that I tell my man, if my friends are blowing my shit, that wait, I could start.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
you can say it now.
If my friends are blowing my shit, then I'm just venting to my man. It's not like they're not like. It's like guys take so many things so literal, and I get it in some context, but don't think you're gonna pull up and tell me talk to me like that in front of my friends. Number one. Number two, you're not going to talk to my friends like that and read them for filth and then tell them what I said because fuck you, snitch. What the fuck?
She's from Compton.
Like,
you know what we don't do in Compton? We don't snitch. We do not snitch. Go ahead.
What?
Incredible. Tristan, what do you think?
I don't know. Like I see stuff like this. I'm like, are female friendships with females even real? Like I always think that, like, every time, like when I used to have girl roommates, they would talk shit about each other and then they're at the club the next day.
And nobody works harder to keep all of you ladies from having good sex than other women. Other women are, all they do is wake up in the morning and they hate on dudes, they hate on you,
No
they
one can
fucking
stop
they're dry snitching. They're doing everything they can to keep each and every one of you from getting good sex. Every one of you, your friends are doing that shit. We as men, what will we do? If Spencer's like, I'm going home with a girl, I would walk home. He was like, here, take my car, bro. I would walk home in the snow for my boy to get laid. It wouldn't matter. But for women, you guys are just anything you can to stop your friends from having a good time.
But a lot of times we're like, hey, don't let me go home with anyone. We tell them, like,
don't let me eat that donut.
Don't let a guy talk to me, or don't do that.
Yes, I'm boy crazy.
It's understood before the night starts.
I think a lot of women have unresolved trauma and they aren't able to have these healthy relationships where they can go out with other women and actually enjoy their company. Because I have healthy friendships with women, you know, and I love to mess around with women, but we are strictly just friends. But I wouldn't hang out with my ex-girlfriend's friends for too long because I didn't like the way they acted and they weren't healthy. Like, and they couldn't be able to hold a conversation or not talk crap about each other. And I'm like, why would I want to be friends with people who would do that to my face? So probably behind my back as well. I would never do that. I'll say it to your face. Like, you're acting like terrible right now.
Yeah.
I also think you should trust the process because a lot of times your significant other can see fakeness that you can't.
Sure. Okay. I can see that from your friends.
Yeah.
I've definitely had a partner where she got a read on a guy I was working with before. I've said that's definitely happened before. Claire, what do you think? Is your man going to tell you not to go on a girl's trip?
No.
You're just going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want. If he don't like me, then he can leave.
Incredible.
If he don't trust me.
Spencer, what do you think?
Any girl that genuinely desires her man is not putting herself in that situation.
Interesting point there, Spencer.
I'm not against girls' trips because I've had a girl who's wanted to go on girls' trips. I'm against girls' trips because I live in Las Vegas and I see what girls who go on girls' trips do on a Tuesday night in Omnia.
I love your girls. Fellas, girls trips are great. We love your girls' trips. Please
send them here.
Send them here. We have accidentally had Bible study with so many of your girls that you trust on your girls' trips. Bro, the reason this is the most ridiculous shit ever. Like, it's not like so many girls come here. You guys, you've worked in nightlife before, you know this. They come here with no intent on cheating, but next thing you know, they're up in Diplo's fucking room and shit happens. And somebody takes some Molly and stuff happens. And because she's around her hoe, it's not you. You're not a hoe. It's your hoe friends. Your hoe friends who give you some Tusi, and the next thing you know, you're calling Diplo West. And we know what that means. And it's just like, man, I'm so tired of this narrative. No, if women, like, you want to know, when I have a girlfriend, they don't want to go on girls' trips. If they want to go out drinking with their friends, they want me there because at the end of the night, they want sex with me. So there's no reason to have the girls' trip. That part has just been so ridiculous to me. Again, and I just don't know why you need fucking validation outside of the relationship. And the problem is, you can't tell me, oh, Michael, it's because you're insecure. No, bro, I live in Las Vegas. I'm the one on stage at Zook or Omnia watching your girl cheat on you.
Like, I have some advice for the guys watching. If your girl has ever mentioned going to Dre's after hours, that is not your girl.
I'm not even going there.
That's not your girl.
No.
Not anymore.
I'm not even going out.
I'm not even going there, baby.
I love it when we get this, like, oh, you're just insecure. I like it when the insecurity card gets played, because you're like, you're goddamn right I'm insecure. It's because I don't want you going out there because I know what happens on those.
It's not you. It's not that you're a hoe. You might be a hoe.
You should trust your girl.
Hoe friends. Your friends that act like hoes. Like,
but what if
you should trust your girl?
The ringleader of the hoes.
There's a reason.
You think it's her friends, but it's her.
Yeah.
Trust
your girl.
There's a reason jealousy still exists in human males. This is it.
Yeah.
If there's one reason, this is it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jealousy exists in women because men cheat, and jealousy exists in men because women cheat. If men and women didn't cheat, and that happened for like say 20 generations of no cheating, guess what there would be? No more jealousy. It would go away. It simply exists as a manifestation of human behavior. It's an evolutionary adaptation. That's where jealousy comes from. So it's like this idea that this is somehow immature. No, man, I just don't. It's so ridiculous to me.
I am so secure in my masculinity that I'm going to go with my mate guarding instinct and say, no, you can't fucking go to Vegas with your hoe ass friends.
Oh my God.
Let me say this. You can definitely go to Vegas with your hoe ass friends. You're just not my girlfriend anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
But not all girls' trips are like that.
Exactly. I would say the majority of
Exactly. Most girls' trips aren't like that. But I'm saying the reason, most girls, when they cheat, that like a lot of times, not most girls, I'm sure some of them intend on cheating, but a lot of times when girls cheat, they cheated because a dude had so much riz and they weren't ready for it. And they had a little bit to drink. They did not get off the plane with the intention of cheating, but it's just, the guy was just like, she never tried a guy like this. And he's a different color than she's used to. And he's got incredible riz. And
She was drunk. He was cute. And one thing.
Don't be insecure.
That happens and it happened for a reason. And that shows you shouldn't be with her because some
reason.
No, but some girls cheat because they don't actually like the guy.
I'm
never cheated.
I'm gonna make a really controversial statement. I think if you put enough pressure on any woman, she'd cheat.
I would never cheat. I've never cheated in my life.
Most girls
put
don't
enough
cheat.
pressure, meaning like this.
I have never cheated on a man in my life.
No. Again, I'm not saying you guys have cheated.
Is it cheating if they all know each other? They all know about each other.
I know who she's talking about. She is not exaggerating.
She was never yours. It is just your turn.
Listen, man, that new man, he was never new, man. You just never knew, man. That's what it was.
Oh my God.
All right. Beautiful. Let's keep it going here before I get called insecure again.
Wait, what about the men's
Don't be
trips?
insecure.
Huh?
What about the guys' trips?
Hey, the men's trips are how we know that girls' trips are not good.
Men's trips are way worse than women's trips.
So much worse.
So no one's going on any
They're
trips.
going out intentions of trying to find women.
The men's trips to Colombia are so that we know we love you. So that we know in the end that we love you.
I just hate the winter. What's the problem?
What about the men's trips to Thailand?
Don't even come back at that point. Just
Oh
stay
no, I'm
there.
definitely leaving you if you say you're going to
Men's
Thailand.
trips to P. Diddy's house.
The fuck are you doing on Epstein's Island?
You know,
Why were you at Diddy's?
before we move on, somebody sent me a video recently of this girl, and it was like a Ring video from like this chick in the
Doorbell
front.
camera?
Yeah, doorbell camera, and like she had come home after like going out with the girls one night, and the dude, I guess, took my advice and changed the locks on the doors, and she wouldn't allow him to come in. She was just crying to the camera on the Ring camera because basically he took all her shit and put it outside and say, "We're done. I told you if you go out,
Dang,
you're
that'd
done."
be terrible.
I'm like,
drunk.
that's enforcing boundaries.
Do you guys understand that like 80% of like of divorces are initiated by women, but in general, women end relationships more than men.
Yeah.
So the
Men cheat more than women.
Yeah, because
they
a
do.
man will
But
cheat.
they do, but like women are catching up,
We'll
right?
end it and move on.
I really don't think the majority of women cheat.
Yeah, I think
the majority of men don't cheat either. The majority of
I
men
know you like
Yes, the hell
get a
they
little
do.
jaded.
the majority,
The majority of men cheat all over the world.
The majority of men that look the way you want cheat.
No. The majority of men in the world.
The world do not.
So,
cheat.
yeah, the majority of men in the world cheat. You'd be surprised. The pastor, the car salesman, the teacher, they all
majority of
cheat.
Men can't get one sexual partner in a year.
That's why they buy escorts.
Regardless, they're not cheating. The majority of men don't buy escorts. The majority of men do not cheat. That is not true. The assistant manager at the Walmart does have no ability to cheat. He's working 60 hours a week.
No,
He has no ability to cheat.
They find the
Those
time.
opportunities. There are no
The majority of men that you meet that are super good looking in nightlife, covered in tattoos, do they cheat? Probably.
I think that's a really good point though, because sometimes I think about it a lot. Actually, living in Vegas we're exposed to a lot of different things that most of the country is not used to.
It's not just that. Is that those other type of men that I'm referring to? They're invisible to
Yeah.
you.
You'd be surprised. I've been in the business of infidelity for 20 years.
She means strip.
20 years. 20 years.
Do you think men just cheat more, or you think the majority of men cheat?
The majority of men cheat, and if presented with the opportunity, I would say 99.9 of them would.
That's different. The presented with the opportunity.
No, but
most men don't have an
will.
opportunity.
I understand they create the opportunity.
No, I'm telling you,
they find that. They
put themselves in the
there's
position.
The coworker.
There are people working on their PhD, researching this, and have been researching this for 50 years, and there is not one single survey that shows that the majority of men cheat.
Why would they admit it for a survey?
Because
I've seen it with my. I've seen the great lengths that they go through.
But you don't think it's like me? It's like I only test men who think their wives are cheating to see how many women cheat. I'm going to get over 50% because your bias,
your sample bias.
Your sample size is biased
No,
because you
I
work
don't
at a
think
strip club
so.
in Las Vegas.
But I've worked at strip clubs in many different
It doesn't
states
matter.
for
You
many
work at a
different
strip club,
years.
period.
Yeah, but you see,
literally
you see what they
you
do.
work
Just
in
No, but you're disregarding all the men who don't go to the.
Do you understand that
They
most
all-
men
they
in the
all-
United States haven't been to a strip club?
every type of man that you'd imagine steps foot
I
in the
agree with
strip
you,
club.
but the majority of men, dude, honey, there's 170 million men in this country. You haven't seen them all, and most of them don't go to strip
160
clubs.
million of them cheat.
Don't even have.
It's not even close to that. I will
sure.
bet you there's in the high end 35% of men have cheated, probably close to 30.
I think all of them.
Again, men, we could go.
No, not just
I'll
like
take you. I'll take you.
women.
We'll go like for a big dinner. We'll go to Toca Madera, and you'll see the busser, and I'll tell you, like, you won't even notice that he exists. That guy can't cheat because you don't even see him.
But I bet he has.
Oh my god.
I think it's like this. I think like
exactly.
I think it's kind of like a weighing the things. Like girls, we have men and try to hit on us all the time, you know. So it's easier for us to say no. Whereas if a man gets approached by a woman, he's not always approached by women, so it's harder for him to say no.
Correct, but most men are never approached by women in their entire life. They will go they will live 60 years on this planet, 70 years, and not ever be approached by a single woman that isn't a tranny in fucking Thailand. They will not be approached by not one single woman their entire life. The vast majority of men have never been approached by a single woman. Bex, you have no idea how desperate most men are.
I have an idea.
I agree with her. She definitely has an idea.
I agree that you have some perspective working in a strip club. I worked at a strip club for 4 years. But the problem is those men at least have money to spend at a strip club. There are men who have zero disposable income. It is getting impossible. The average man in the United States makes $59,000 a year and is 5'9". The idea that these men have the ability to cheat, you are out of your mind. Women are becoming even more and more and more picky, and you think that these guys have the ability to cheat? No one wants them. No one.
That's why they're in the strip club.
The bottom third of men, no one wants them. They are invisible to women for whatever reason. And so this idea that they're going to be able to cheat, no. In fact, I'll bet you as a percentage, the amount of men who cheat is decreasing because there's so few men that have any options with women. But the amount of women that are cheating, they're catching up to men.
The broke ones cheat even more.
I would agree with that. The
That's not
amount
even
of men, I like that. The amount of men who cheat is declining.
Yes.
Now, is that a result of online streaming 4K
Yes.
ubiquitous
Yes.
pornography
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
OnlyFans?
Yes.
Okay,
Because
so that begs the question:
That's not counted as
if
cheating.
if a man is married and he's got a porn addiction, or he's jerking off on a habitual rate, let's just say, or he's got an OnlyFans girl or two, is that infidelity?
Wait, watching porn or subscribing?
If you talk to
by order of degree, how does that work?
Farha Khalidi came on my show and she said that definitely was cheating. And then
Watching porn or subscribing to an OF?
So subscribing to an OF where she's having conversation with another woman.
Yeah.
And then CJ Sparks
with a woman or a guy?
But they're all a guy. Whenever sorry to spoil it for all you OnlyFans creators, it's always a guy.
Real. She's AI.
It's always a guy.
So the other thing is I had CJ Sparks on. And she did she came on my show and she with Kayla Lauren, and she said a man watching pornography is not cheating, but a man communicating with an OF model would be cheating. So
because he's like building like an emotional connection?
Because it's an emotional connection. Yeah.
But they've never had sex, though.
A lot of women,
intercourse.
Not anyone here, but a lot of women can recognize that it's possible for a man to have sex with other women and still devote all of his resources to his wife. So
if a man is fucking a sex robot, does that count as
back sex robot, does that count as cheating?
Oh, the sex robots. Ooh, I went down the rabbit hole with that one. That's really coming up.
Yep,
it's going to be the end of civilization.
Here we go.
Cheating is different for everybody. You know, some people consider like an emotional connection, texting someone behind someone's back and flirting with them. Some people consider that cheating. Some people consider going to the strip club, getting lap dance cheating. Some don't. It'd be different. You have to set your own boundaries with your partner.
As long as you communicate with me.
If a cute waitress flirts with your man and he flirts back, is that cheating?
Is he flirting back in front of me? Because what the fuck?
In front of you, yes, you're there.
Oh no, she's getting.
Yeah, listen. If I was out with you or Wes, the only thing I would say to that waitress is, "My girlfriend thinks you're hot." That's the only way I'm flirting back.
I love playing devil's advocate.
My girlfriend thinks you're really hot. And I would just get up. That's what I would do. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Let's keep going.
All right.
Let's get through 20 more of these.
20 more. Let's do. Oh, this one's pretty good.
All very much aware we are living through a chopped man epidemic, and there's a big shortage of baddies. It's gone so bad to the point that, like, if I see an attractive man, it genuinely makes my day. I was walking on the sidewalk earlier and I saw a cute guy in his car, so I waved to him and he smiled back at me, and obviously he drove away after that. But I was like, oh my god, a cute guy? This was at 6:50 p.m. It's 7:17 and I'm still like, oh my god. And I feel like this is going to power me through my evening. Like, wow, I actually saw an attractive man today. Like, diamond in the rough, needle in the haystack. Seriously.
Ladies, this video went mega viral. Does anyone want to guess why? She's talking about chopped men.
Because she's chopped too.
Oh, interesting, Cree. You said it. I didn't. Anybody else?
She's chopped too.
What do you think the comments were like for this?
What does chopped mean?
It's ugly, just unattractive.
I think she lives in Arkansas.
Huh?
I think she lives in Arkansas.
There's some really good-looking guys in Arkansas.
She doesn't live here. That's
okay,
for
so
sure.
so what do you guys think? What do you think's going on here? What do you think, Tristan?
I actually do agree with her, because I go for walks. I walk on the strip, and then I think the strip is like a good indication of what America looks like. And I walk around, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like there's just obesity everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about obesity. Okay,
if she lives in Arkansas, I could even. If whoever thinks she's chopped, I can see where she's coming from.
Even
like,
worse,
most men are obese.
Even worse than the strip is the airports. Oh my god!
I'm gonna say you're wrong. I used to be a showgirl, and I walked up and down the strip. I fell in love 7 times a day. Swear to God, like it's the problem. Men are not chopped. She's right. I'm trying to leave.
Is there any possibility, ladies, just open your mind, raise your hand if you think there's any possibility that maybe the attention she gets on social media and dating apps has changed her standards to become unrealistic?
Yes.
And an average man who would match with her, she finds him to be physically unattractive.
Yes.
1,000 chance that's actually what
Yes, that's why when she's in somewhere in the Midwest, walking down the sidewalk, a guy has to be exceptionally good looking for her to feel good,
because that's what she compares herself to. Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
Well, it's part of the global sexual marketplace, is what I was telling Fresh at one point. Fresh said this at one time, and I wish he hadn't. He was asked what percentage of women he thinks get flown out to like yacht parties and stuff, like, out to Florida, right? And he said something like 30%, and I'm like, brother, no. And so of course everybody jumped all over that. And they said, oh well, this is why these red pill guys are stupid, right? And I'm like, no, that's not the point. The point is this: is that the chick that does get flown out, 100,000 other women see her get flown out to, a yacht party, and for some athlete or rapper or Drake, and they look at this girl and they go, I'm hotter than her. I could possibly be flown out there too. And so what happens is they see that in the global sexual marketplace, and then they apply that to their local sexual marketplace, which is exactly what she's doing. Her local sexual marketplace is walking down the sidewalk in bumfuck Tulsa, Oklahoma somewhere, and some guy who's probably maybe a 5 or a 6 on the Miami scale or the Vegas scale smiles at her, and it makes her day, right? Well, that's because her metric, her standard now is the bitch that got flown out to be on Drake's yacht in Biscayne Bay.
Good.
This actually ties back to something that like we're all working with this week. We have a bunch of MOA guys in town, and we're at Jewel on Monday, and every one of them came up to me. They were like, "Yo, Tristan, like I would approach like the mid girls, and they were just super mean." And then we were at Omnia last night, and then we were at this table, and it was like a bunch of models, and who were like, "What?" They pulled me aside, and they were like, "Why are the hot girls just nicer?"
You want to know why? Because everybody is so intimidated by good-looking women that nobody speaks to
That
us.
when you actually talk to them, they respect.
Right. They avoid us. They're intimidated by us. So when you actually go out of your way to say, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also agree at the same time, it's like girls like that, their egos also inflated, which is now why they are meaner.
Yes.
Yeah, like
On
if you
top of them being in competition
like
with
every
other
girl on whatever podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you, ladies, a guy has sent you a message on social media to fly you out somewhere. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, but who? We don't open our
Has
DMs.
Yeah.
it happened to you? Claire, it's happened to you? Cree, has it happened to you?
Ask Asian Barbie. I know she
has
has.
it happened to you, Wes?
Yeah.
Has it happened to you? Okay. So if you garner a lot of attention on social media, I 100% believe you are offered this, but I don't think most women will go to
No.
Dubai.
Follow up on it.
Yeah.
Not going.
I mean, not Dubai, but maybe
I'm
somewhere.
somebody I've never met before.
I
Like,
think
But
that's
I
scary.
think from the men who do follow you, you get a lot of attention.
I don't want to end up on the next Dateline.
Okay, I want to play. I'm going to play devil's advocate one more time. They actually made a documentary about this. You're all lying. It's called Tinder Swindler, and that bitch got right on that plane and flew right out to wherever that guy was going because she thought he was a Mossad agent and a Hasidic diamond merchant.
Yeah. So
if the offer's good enough, you're going.
So if the girl is attractive enough to take nice pictures of herself on social media, and then we're talking about the offer to be flown out, but not actually flying out. Mm-hmm. I think it is more than 50% of women.
Yeah,
for sure.
But we're talking about the offer. We're not talking how many girls actually get flown to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about the offer.
Rate is
the
lower.
conversion rate how many girls Tinder Swindler pulled that off on? Yeah. I was going to say.
She must be working through some kind of trauma because it couldn't possibly be her fault for doing something else.
Yeah,
it's obviously some unhealed trauma. Man, I swear. Never mind. Go ahead.
Are women ever healed? That's what I want to know. Like when
None
does
of
it
us
heal?
are ever healed.
When does it heal? It's a new religion these days. It's like your identity is like whatever your neurosis.
Oh no, we're
is.
so healed, and then men go out of their way to try to break
to
us.
unheal you.
Make us go in regression.
That says something.
Men are the reason
We're healing for the men.
Honestly, that says more about your therapist than it does about you. But
Maybe pick better partners.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine. I stay in the house.
I'm always home.
You got another one?
I want to point one more thing out here because I got into it with Mac and Murphy just recently about something very similar to this chopped guy or chopped girl phenomenon. Mm-hmm. And what happens on Twitter right now, for whatever reason, I don't know how this got well, actually, I do know how it got popular. They'll throw up some picture of some guy and then they'll say, oh, this guy's mid or whatever. And then what happens is the guy who gets insulted, he'll go and he'll look through the avatar pictures of all the girls that are saying, oh, you're and each one of them is like this mother from the Midwest. So yeah, exactly. Each one of them is chopped. And so what Mackin is saying is like, well, when guys get all upset about this, it's because they're trying to get with women that wouldn't fuck them in the first place, right? I'm like, well, it also happens the other way around too. So
he's not completely
tell me
wrong.
He's not. I'm like, so does that mean that the chick can't get with those guys?
Yes.
That she's also say, okay, well that's fine. Don't turn it into some sort of neurosis from like some psychological thing from back in 100,000 years ago because you're Mr. Evo Psych. It's like no, people are dicks and bitches to each other. Can we just like settle on that?
I think he's right about what he's saying, but the other part is true where the girl, but here's the main difference, right? If I'm the guy who's the 4 and I go after the girl who's the 10 and she rejects me, maybe I leave some passive aggressive beta comment on YouTube.
Well,
right?
they say like Sydney Sweeney's mid, and so what happens is
of course,
then they
it's
go to
madness.
all the pictures of the guys saying that she's mid, and they go,
Of course,
no one would
Sydney
ever fuck you
Sweeney's-
anyways.
Sydney
Right,
Sweeney is
nobody
not
wants
mid.
you
Sydney
anyway.
Sweeney is very attractive.
Yeah.
All right. So now what happens is the guy who, just consider the guy who's a 5, he messages the girl who's an 8, and she's just like kindly, politely like, hey, I'm not interested, or just
Yeah.
doesn't notice him. The difference is the girl who's the 5 messages the guy who's an 8, and they do smash. But he's not interested in a relationship. So that's the main difference, is like, as men, we kind of do know our place to some extent because we don't get matches, or nobody talks to us at the club, or nobody talks to us at the gym, or nobody talks to us at the grocery store. We kind of know where we are, and we're consistently,
The world reminds us
the
of our
world is
status.
constantly reminding us of our status, and we are deadlifting this no that we get from the world every single day. And that's how we as men get stronger, is that no, that constant no we receive as a man every day. With women, you also can't get every guy. You ladies may find Brad Pitt attractive, but probably most of you have not had sex with Brad Pitt.
61 years old.
Yeah, most of you have probably not had sex with Brad Pitt. But the thing is, there are men probably in your life. I'm obviously not talking about any of you ladies at the table, but you went after a man who was extremely good looking, trying to get him to commit, and he didn't, because you were shooting out of your league and didn't recognize it at the time. Or maybe you know a friend of yours, a female friend of yours who's done that. So that's the difference, is like, women have that extra piece of validation because the center fielder will write you back on IG, because Michael B. Jordan will write you back on IG, because Tyga will write you back on IG, because Champagne Poppy will write you back on IG.
Drake.
Yeah, exactly. Because Machine Gun Kelly will write you back on IG, because G-Eazy
Diplo, hello.
will write you back on IG. Because they will write you back, then that changes. You have that extra little piece of stimulus that we as men don't get. They just don't even notice us.
You just don't realize it's their PR team that's actually hitting you
exactly.
back.
Oh my goodness.
The Filipinos running your IG. Okay, here we go.
What are the requirements that you need to have in order to date me, a single mom of 3 kids? Number 1 is that you need to be making at least $130K a year, and you need to have at least 2 side hustles. If you cannot make $130K or more, then you are out of my fucking league. How do you expect to give me money for my kids if you only make $50K a year? Second is, I don't date men that are younger than me, because for obvious reasons. So if you are 26 and over, then you qualify. 26 to 35 is the age limit. Okay, I feel like 35 is pushing it because they look old as fuck already. So I'm 26, I'm a baby, so yeah. You have to have at least 3 cars under your name. Your second car has to have 8 seats, because I have 3 kids. So I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you, I'm gonna bring my kids, and you need to have enough space for my kids. So that's why I require you to have an SUV and a vehicle of your own if you're going to be dating me. Another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name, and you have to be looking into getting your second property. Have to get a home that has 6 rooms, because each of my kids have to be in their own room. So you have to be considerate. Purchase a house that has 6 rooms, because that's only common sense. And if you cannot meet those requirements, then you're not the fucking one. The last requirement is that it has to be pink. If it's not pink, no. Pink and brown go together. Pink and brown, like what? Duvalin, you know?
Is this rage bait?
I think she's talking about the guy's
no, it's
wiener.
not satire.
I do believe that she believes that, even though she may have made that as rage bait. I do.
Bro, I know
she believes-
billionaires who live in a 2-bedroom apartment and don't have 3 cars.
I know a billionaire who owned Tesla who slept on a couch from Sergey Brin for years. Elon Musk, who's one of the wealthiest men in the world, was sleeping on his buddy's couch. It's like this idea that we have to spend money. Okay, maybe if that's what you want, then go find a guy who's doing that. But one thing I've seen is that the guys who I see spend the most money on women are not the wealthiest dudes I know. The wealthiest dudes I know marry women who want to protect the empire. There's a great book on this. It's called The Millionaire Next Door. And one of the things they show is that the men who are the wealthiest, so this guy was a tax preparer, he was an accountant, and he went through he could see the income from all of his thousands of clients, and he was able to discern, okay, what's the income that this guy got that made him so wealthy, and what's the income that this person got that made them so in debt. And what he found was the people who are the wealthiest, they were men who married women who were more frugal than those men. Women who are again, there's offense and defense. Offense is how much money I make. Defense is how much money I'm spending. So defense is how do I stop spending so much money? Finding a woman who isn't going to spend you out of house and home is how you create generational wealth. And it's really funny because we're really losing that understanding now. We're losing that understanding. And now we're just like, the man makes money specifically so that they can have a huge $600,000 wedding. She can have a bag. And then, so is that too little? Creed, was 600,000 too little?
That's how much my dress is gonna cost.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
600,000. Jeez.
Again, I just don't. I think if you guys understood the time value of money and like saw where you were going to be in several years, then you would understand wasting money on these frivolous things when we could be happy together and our children could go to a better university and we could take vacations as a family and get a second home and invest in those homes instead of a car that depreciates or a bag that becomes worthless. If a woman truly understood that, that's when you become a wife. I'm sorry. I know a lot of women are like, no, he needs to have enough money to support my lifestyle
and my 3 kids.
And you can believe that.
Let's
if you
get
want.
another one for the baby daddy too.
I'm gonna
for the 3 baby daddy.
For the
3 baby daddy.
That's why the reason there were 6 rooms.
Yeah.
You need one room for the baby daddy to come visit, and so she can
Well, that's why you need 6 cars for each baby daddy.
I feel
My
like
question is what?
6 bedrooms, I think they said.
I feel like there's a balance because personally for me, I can maintain my own lifestyle. I'm 27. I have a $500,000 house. I don't have kids. I have a dog. I got a big ass dog. She costs just as much as a kid.
Hell yeah.
I buy myself everything I want. With that being said, I buy shoes like 3 times a year, maybe 3-4 times. Bag once a year. Like, I'm not crazy. I feel like you can treat yourself.
Of course.
You know?
I think so. But like the problem, this is the way I've always seen it, is that women will date a man and then they think on the other side of this man is this just endless pile of money and it just exists. They don't look at the P&L statements, what his expenses were in his business that month. They don't look at the stress that he went through. They don't look at the fact that he may be over levered in order to keep his company afloat. They don't look at anything. They just think there's this amalgamous, like ethereal pile of money that just exists for her to extract through credit cards. And
my favorite thing is when I see girls react to the prices of tables.
Oh
yeah. You see the one of the
crazy.
You see the one where the girl saw the dinner bill and
like,
she's
okay.
like, I shouldn't be seeing this. I'm just a girl. Don't let me see this.
Like, I have to go to the restroom.
All I'm gonna say is, besides the age thing, I meet all her requirements.
There you go.
You know,
Every call me.
There was this single mother of 3 with 2 baby daddies, and she was 55 years old, and I think she just married the richest man in the world, or the second richest man in the world. So,
and I think they rented out Venice.
I think the men with real money don't care.
I think it is getting worse. Like the Travis Hunter. Have you ever heard of that situation?
Yeah. I think one baby daddy. I don't think she has 3 baby daddies.
That's crazy. Travis Hunter and that girl. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so crazy.
I mean, that's emotional trauma, and that's a man who's unhealed and is trying to work through his trauma of his girlfriend who cheated on him by marrying her. That's what essentially he's doing, and not getting a prenup. That is madness.
And all,
let me explain something. Let me explain the concept to you ladies, and then I'm going to explain the concept to the guys who are watching this. The safest neighborhoods in America, people own guns in their homes, and there's fences around the houses. When you have clear boundaries, everyone functions better. If what a woman wants is not a weak man or a strong man as much as she wants a man she cannot manipulate, because he has strong boundaries that he understands. And those boundaries make her be better to him.
Change the locks.
Be better to her and make him be better to himself. Jeff Bezos and Travis Hunter do not have those boundaries. And because of that, they will pay dearly in the next few years. Any amount of money you guys want to come up with, I guarantee you he will either be unfaithful or he will be leaving her in the next couple years because of what's going on. And
all right, stop right there.
Go ahead.
The requirements that you need to have in
Pull that one. Pull this one.
I hope she writes a book before she dies. Her game.
Eric Fisher.
That's called deliberate dating.
Eric Fisher.
Dare I say this? That woman has a more impressive roster than Bex.
Oh, Bex.
I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
First team All-NBA players there.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
That's called deliberate dating. She was smart with her
Deliberate
decision.
dating.
I haven't made the best decision.
She's dating with intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With intent to marry and have the wedding of her
So the
dreams.
boundaries was one of the things I want to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about is having a group of friends that will tell you you're a fucking idiot. Most of you don't have that.
And nobody's going to tell Bezos that.
Every week when I go on the sales meeting, what is the first thing I say, Tristan?
Oh, what did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong this week? What did I do to make your life harder? Everyone in my company knows they can tell me when I'm a fucking idiot. And because of that, in fact, I have 2 other executives in my company. And whenever I want to do something, I have to convince the 2 of them before we take any action. I never act unilaterally. Why is that I do that? Because I am fully aware of that I have blind spots and I don't know what I don't know. Jeff Bezos, I'm just going to sound arrogant. Jeff Bezos doesn't have a friend like me. And because a friend like me would tell him, bro, keep her on the side, give her $1 billion and let her stay in the house with the other women. Give them each $1 billion. But you are not marrying this woman because it makes you're a target, not only for this, but when she cheats on you and takes half, you're a target for the next woman. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's like Nico Harrison, the GM of the Mavericks, because he's so fucking stupid that he traded away Luka Doncic. Every other GM in the league is like, I can't lose a trade to Nico Harrison. I'm going to look like a moron. Every woman from this point forward that dates Travis Hunter is going to know, got him. He's a sucker. That's how they're all gonna feel. Why is that? Because he didn't have a homie to tell him he's a fucking idiot. That's the reason why. So I know guys, like one of the reasons
when a guy's a sucker and it's that public, how does a guy like that even recover? It feels like it's unrecoverable.
Recover. He's got $280 billion. He's how recovers? He's surrounded himself with yes people. Yeah. Does that make sense? That's the reason why this doesn't work. I need people. That's why I go back to Dallas, Texas, and see my friends who I went to high school with who tell me when I'm doing something fucking stupid. And that's what I appreciate. The emperor has no clothes. And guys like this in that situation don't. Travis Hunter doesn't have a friend like this, and neither does Jeff Bezos. So you got to ask yourself, if you're a guy out there watching this and you make $130,000 a year, do you have a friend to tell you you're being stupid when you want to when you're thinking about dating that woman who has the 3 kids and wants the 3 cars and wants you to make $130K? Do you have a friend of yours who can tell you when you're being stupid? Yeah. My friends would tell me all the time, if I'm in a relationship she does and some disrespectful, my friends would come tell me, Michael, you're doing something stupid. And I would never shun them. I would always listen to them. It doesn't mean I'm always going to act. I still have my own agency. But if you don't have guy friends who, this is the reason why men have the locker room talk when we play sports.
We have Warzone.
Yeah, why we have Warzone. When we play sports as growing up, what do? We call each other names. We slap each other with towels. We do all this weird shit to one another. We make fun of each other. In the military, if you fall asleep on a KC-135 in the cockpit, we will draw dicks on your face all night, take a picture of you and send it to your wife. Why is that we do that? We do that because we know in order to have a true friend will tell you you're an idiot. A true friend will tell you're an idiot. Jeff Bezos does not have a true friend. That's what I know from watching that.
I think most guys don't actually have good enough friends around them like that. Like most guys got to get into some sort of community, like join Men of Action or join the School of Unplugging to get guys around them who actually call them out on this shit and not let them fall down these holes.
Yeah, exactly.
And God, would you like a history lesson? In ancient Rome, that's why the Senate required all of the Caesars and the emperors to have a doomsayer, to have a memento mori. Remember, you will die. There's always they were required to have that guy say, "Don't get too big of a head. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get such a big ego that you think you're God, right? You're going to die just like anybody else." And it's basically bringing your ego back down to size so that you never like sort of outgrow, your humanity. Speaking of which,
married April 6th and divorced May 28th.
So you're divorced?
Yes. But there is a 90-day waiting period in Islam where it's basically you have 90 days to see if you're pregnant, because then the he would be responsible, right? And then also in those 90 days, it's for reconciliation because the law wants you to stay married. And then during those 90 days, you are not to like entertain anybody romantically. So what I will say is that Islam has made my life a lot easier. I think even with this transition and, things changing, honestly, it's like, I don't think anybody gets married to not stay married. So I think my biggest thing for me is this is a nice 90-day reset, just focusing on myself and pouring into myself. And what I also will add is that I followed my heart, and that's more than what most people can say in this world.
Okay. So everybody know, anyone who doesn't know who that is, raise your hand if you do not know who that is.
Brittany Renner.
Okay. So that's Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is the baby's mother of PJ Washington. He plays power forward for the Dallas Mavericks. He's one. I love the guy.
Stepdaddy season.
Yes. And after she did so, she was older than PJ Washington. I believe he was 19 when he came into the league. She basically wrote a book kind of explaining how she tricked him into getting her pregnant. Does that make sense? Then afterwards, one of the funniest things happened is Deion Sanders, who was the head coach of Jackson State, now he's the head coach of Colorado, had Brittany Renner come and explain to all the players on the team, this is how women target you so that they can get you. And she because she is a narcissist, she had no problem whatsoever expressing, yes, I target men to get me pregnant so that I can get that bag. And now Kevin Gates, who says some weird shit to begin with, love him as an artist, but he says some weird shit, married Brittany Renner. Of course, this is the same situation. Wow, Kevin Gates doesn't have a homie like me to tell him he's a fucking moron. That's the problem. And so because of that, they got married. And now I promise you, there's no way they got married with a prenup. Brittany Renner's not getting married with a prenup. Brittany Renner is getting another bag. She literally makes her living by getting rappers and fucking athletes to marry her. That's how she because
they're married?
Huh? Yeah.
I want to know if
That's
it's
so
actually
embarrassing.
been proven that they legally got married, because isn't he legally married to Drakia?
I don't know. I really don't know. And also in Islam, there's you can be married to 4 women at once. So.
I don't know about the Islam part, but I think in the United States we can call that an annulment, and they wouldn't have to worry about it.
She's not going to allow for an annulment because she doesn't get paid, dude. She's
I know she's not.
She did not waste her time.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
Brittany.
But if the guy was smart, he would get an annulment.
He became Muslim just to get
a woman who wrote a book about getting pregnant with the intention of taking a rich man's money just said most people don't get married with the intention of getting divorced. She did. That's exactly what she
wrote
did.
a book about it.
That's exactly what she did. And the thing is, when I had Ryan Teraband on, one of the things I asked him, I was like, bro, why are there so many beta men, like powerful men? We talk about Jeff Bezos, we talk about Travis Hunter. Why is this happening so often where these men who are in positions of power are acting like this way? And you know what I think it is? I think it's the compromise that they have to make to get into that position of power. It's like you have to do the woke thing to run the Fortune 500 company. You have to do the woke thing to get the McDonald's advertisement, the Mercedes advertisement. You have to do the woke thing to be able to star in Guardians of the Galaxy 6. You have to do the woke thing in order to be the professional wrestler or the whatever. You can't be the MAGA supporter. And so because of that, I think that's where we're getting into this place where you see just so much weird behavior from these men who command so much power, respect, and money, and they still act this way. It's absolute madness.
What I will say about Kevin, bless you, not to get like religious or spiritual, Kevin is very open about him doing witchcraft. That's a rabbit hole.
What is that though? That is no homies telling you you're dumb.
Yes.
There needs to be a homie saying you're stupid.
I agree.
Men don't like to hear that though.
Grown man in his life explaining to him he's being stupid, and he doesn't have that. And that's what happens. This is what homieless men look like. This is Travis Hunter. Kevin Gates, Jeff Bezos. This is what Logan Paul. This is what Will Smith. Will Smith. This is what Will Smith does not have a homie saying, bro, Jada Pinkett Smith is just all she's doing is biting your style, bro. She basically is leeching your fame to garner any relevance.
Oh, she's so
Nobody would be watching her Red Table show if she wasn't married to Will Smith. She was a C-list actress in the 90s and the early 2000s. She is irrelevant now.
2.5.
Yeah, I mean, she was. I mean, for certain people,
she had what Jason's lyric. I think.
I mean, no, but for certain people, Jada Pinkett is a different kind of woman. Like, I understand for you guys, she might be a C-list, but for me, she's like one of the prettiest black girls I grew up watching. A girl that I could relate to.
How did you know?
Okay, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying.
I think Vivica Fox is a better actress.
Huh?
I think Vivica Fox is a better.
I mean, I think Vivica Fox is a better actress too, but I'm not comparing them because there's no comparison.
I think there's a comparison. I think she's a mid-level actress who got lucky to marry like a superstar.
I think Jada Pinkett is a complex woman. Just because, I mean, a lot of I look at her in a different
she's complex the same way that Benito Mussolini is complex.
Because you guys look at her differently.
She's complex the way that Pol Pot was complex.
Like,
she's a narcissist.
Yeah, I think the point is the narcissist part.
I look at her in a different way.
I think it's kind of like not in comparison to Kanye, but like she had a legacy at one point, but she started to go off the deep end.
I mean, she did,
really
but
started
she's
getting
just human.
with Tupac. Like, no, it
she
got
was,
weird.
but he wrote poetry about her. I have Tupac's poetry book.
But
wrote
she's like
poetry
doing this
about
in front
her.
of Will's face.
So what? So what?
You would not want your son
I don't want my son married to Jada Pinkett, but my son would never go that route. You know,
beautiful.
Because I would be the mom.
Let me read some super chats. We've gone pretty long here. Ready?
Yeah.
Rational Ride Next. Shout out to you on the subject of the Diddy discussion. Please, God, just send the media already. Hilarious question for the women who are okay with threesomes. Would you still be okay with it if the girl was demonstrably hotter than you? We already asked that. This video is why women have stalkers. Anyone who wants to go on a girl's trip deserves to be single when she leaves. That's fun. Siege, what up? Shout out to Sartain Ladies Night last night. Papa Magnum, come on, Mike. Have you considered all of the extremely creative hall passes women give themselves so their cheating doesn't count? That's why women are innocent. So
obviously, we're all innocent.
Most of the guys who watch me believe women cheat more than men. Sadia Khan also believes women cheat more than men.
No.
Because they give themselves an out. Like they're like, well, he used a condom and I didn't have an orgasm, therefore it doesn't count.
No.
No,
women do not cheat more than men.
So it doesn't count.
Tell them to get a therapist.
In my experience, women are healed enough to want to date me when they've gained 100 pounds and have more than 2 kids. That's why I'm single. So they become healed when they get overweight. Okay, got it.
I'm healed.
Siege is actually a bot program to simp in Sartain's chat. My favorite tonight is West Simp Siege. Shout out to Siege again. And
Love
then
you,
random lesson in economics. You need to make $120,000 a year to have the same purchasing power as $30,000 salary in 1980. That's true.
Rational.
If you make $134,000 a year, you're in the top 10% of wage earners in the country. And you ladies, most of you probably would not date a guy who makes less than that, which is crazy. And then Islam is right about women being able to drive. Hilarious. Shout out to Ryan. And then finally, you should interview Kevin Sorbo about the glass ceiling for conservatives in Hollywood. Absolutely true. There is a limitation. If you're a politically conservative man in Hollywood, there's certain parties you're just not invited to.
Yeah.
One other thing, we'll talk about this on the next show about I went to a sex love and it's sex and lover addicts anonymous meeting, not because I'm a sex lover addict.
Sure.
I went with a friend. Learned a ton of stuff, and we'll do a video on it next week because I think it was really, really eye opening. Going to that. Go ahead. We have another video.
Yeah, let's
asking for a friend.
Next week we'll talk about.
I know that's quite the teaser. All right, here we go.
You famous. You got 1,000 roles. They like you on this strip. Where you from though? DC. DC? You do look mad familiar. I see you in my dreams or something.
That was cute.
I try a little bit.
That was cute. I like it. Oh, wait, hold up.
What up?
Go ahead.
What? Oh, I like your accent, though. I be like, what is you talking about, son?
What are you talking about?
Shit, trying to see you trying to file the application.
For what? Is it about to be something else? No, I have a boyfriend.
He's not here. Oh, yeah, I'm on live stream? Damn.
I have a man.
Let me turn the live stream off. Hey, Chad, we're going to be right back.
I'm tired.
Motherfucking bitch. Motherfucker. Damn it.
The live stream was off. She gave her number out. Shout out to Super 8. That's Super 8.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey. Hey, my nigga, hold your motherfucking head up, dog. She for the streets.
Let's
whatever.
move on.
All right.
All right, beautiful. Do we have another one?
Yeah. God, that was funny. Yeah. Let me get to...
She cheated as soon as the camera was off. She gave him the number.
Well,
The data collection of all the paternity test centers in America, they found that 32% of fathers who got a paternity test were indeed not the father of their children. This problem is so bad in Jamaica, it's about 70%. When the men's rights activists in Jamaica wanted to make it so that paternity tests were mandatory at birth, they said that they wouldn't allow it because it would cause too much femicide. Meaning too many men would find out that their children are not actually their children and they would end up harming the women. In France, this problem is so bad that you're not even allowed to get a paternity. They said, and I quote, that it would destroy and destabilize communities if they had mandatory paternity tests at birth. Women would have to be accountable for the decisions that they make. And if you have this conversation with some women, they will really act offended. All I'm going to say is I never seen somebody wearing real diamonds afraid of a diamond test.
Yeah. Ladies, who here thinks you should have mandatory paternity testing? Like, who here does not thinks maternity testing should not be mandatory? Raise your hand.
Well, it
Paternity testing.
depends,
Sorry, my bad.
because I wouldn't need. Like, I feel like some people.
Like you just screw up sometimes.
Like some people wouldn't need it.
I get it. No, it's fine.
Yeah, no, but I
even if
don't.
it was one guy.
I don't have sex. Like I don't have.
Yeah, but like
that was not the answer I was expecting.
I get it. I think that they should
prevent it. You definitely do not need a paternity test. I agree with you 100%.
It's 100% not hers.
Wes?
I don't think it should be mandatory, but I don't feel like it should be wrong for a man to ask for it. Like, I know there are instances where there are chances, like the hospital, like there's those cases where people switch their, like the babies are switched at birth. So then the paternity test shows he's not the father, but then also the mom is not the father. That's rare, but it does happen. But I don't think it's wrong for a man to ask, because that's that's a long-term commitment, you know, and the mother's asking for
fraud.
Yeah. Like if the mother is asking for support for 18 years, like that Kanye song, you know, where like
I think if you go through courts though, like if there's child support involved and stuff, the courts will mandatory make the DNA.
I feel like maybe it shouldn't be mandatory, but standard. Like maybe give you the option to decline it, but at least
as it stands right now, depending on the state, but as it stands right now, if a man does not contest the paternity, you're the father. If she puts your name,
that's crazy. If she writes your name on the birth certificate,
you're the dude. And to the point where it.
What if you write the name, but then the test in the future proves otherwise?
You're still financially obligated to that child.
Wait, so just so we're clear, because I don't want Mac and Murphy yelling at me. It is like 1 or 2% where we see this paternity like fraud. No. It's about 1 or 2. And the reason why you might say is like 1 or 2%, that seems super low. I'm like, yes, because of paternity tests. This is what you should expect. Women know if they get pregnant by the wrong guy, because like it's not that hard to get the child terminated in pregnancy. We don't have to say the word, but like it's not that difficult to do that in the United States of America, regardless of what all you people who hate Trump think. It's pretty easy to get that done. And when women would rather have that done than have their man leave them. So that's why you're more likely to see that than a woman giving birth to some to cheating and then giving birth to someone else's baby. It's just not that common.
It's just
too easy to get caught.
It's also selection bias too, because the guys who are going,
they're going to the paternity test,
find out. The guys who are going to the paternity tests are more likely to find out that the baby isn't theirs, because they already suspect that it's not there. So ergo, it's going to be.
So let's just say hypothetically, you took let's say hypothetically 30% of women cheat. If you take a survey of all men, the likelihood of you finding out that their girl cheated was 30%. But if you took only men who suspected their wife of cheating, then that number is going to be 50-60%. It's going to be a much higher number, because that's selection bias. That's what that is.
So let me bake your brain a little bit more. Okay, that's proactive cuckoldry, essentially, is what that is, because it is having the baby and then convincing the father, the not father, that they are actually the father. Okay, that's what we think of as cuckoldry, right? And of course, that's why McAmurphy and everybody wants to go, oh, it's incredibly low. It's only like 2 or 3% or 10% or whatever it is, right? And they're only focusing on that aspect of cuckoldry. Now, we just saw a video a minute ago of this woman who had 3 kids, who had one at $130,000, one had what, 5 cars, 3 cars, 6 cars, 6 bedrooms, 2 properties, all this other stuff. Okay. So that you had the privilege of taking care of her 3 sprogs that were born from like probably 2 different fathers. Okay. And so how is that not the same fucking thing? It's only socially acceptable because that guy becomes a stepfather and not a quote unquote cuck, but he's still serving the same function. What is he doing? He is accepting the parental investment responsibilities of other men's kids at the expense of his own reproduction. That's exactly what happens in retroactive cuckoldry and proactive cuckoldry. Why do we not include that in the statistics for cuckoldry? The reason we don't is because one is socially acceptable in a gynocentric social order. The other one we think of as a bastard child, right? And so we need to start looking at it in whole instead of just like this is the bad one and this is the good one.
Well, I think that also the difference is the men in this situation are going into it knowing that they're raising.
They have a choice.
So there's
to go
there's agency
into it.
Involved in that.
But again, in the age where most guys aren't getting laid, that seems like a pretty good reproductive mating strategy to go out with a woman who already has kids in the hopes that perhaps maybe she'll reproduce with you. Yeah. It becomes a beta male mating strategy. And that's why I'm saying you're still, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still performing the same function that the guy who is secretly not the father is performing for the woman. The only difference is one is duplicitous and a lie. The other one is out in the open. Yeah. They're still effective. At the end of the day, at the end of your life, they still serve the same function. She had sex with another man, reproduced with him, and you took care of you're the one who took care of the provisioning, protection, and parental investment.
Listen, I take care of all the kids because I pay taxes.
That's right.
I pay taxes, bro. And that's so all the kids are getting taken care of because of me. All right, what do we got next?
Oh, let's do Jim Sexton. How about that? Tell me when you want me to stop this one because it's kind of long.
Did we do this?
It's harder on women or men?
I think it's equally hard on both, but I think that the world is more sympathetic to women when they get divorced. I think when a woman gets cheated on, the man's a piece of shit. And when a woman cheats on a man, she must have been forced into the arms of this other man, or she had to explore herself, or she was being neglected in some fashion. And so if a man cheats, he's a piece of garbage. And if a man's wife cheats, he mustn't have been meeting her needs, and she had every right in the world. So the world is very unsympathetic to men when they get divorced. There was a maternal presumption, a legal presumption, what was called the tender years doctrine, which was that if a child was under the age of 7, they were automatically presumed that they would be in the custody of the mother. So men get really beat up still in court. I mean, the law theoretically is gender blind right now, but I don't actually see that because the law is people. The law is judges, and judges are human, and they have all the same biases. And it's just not a moment right now where men are particularly sympathetic characters. Even young men. I mean, if at a school dance they sing Beyonce's "Girls Who Runs the World," like if there was a song called "Men Who Runs the World," men. And it was a positive thing, like you get pilloried for that. So I think that men have a very hard time right now in divorce. They see their children less, they get hit harder financially, they are the bad guy no matter what. If they cheat, they're the bad guy. If they get cheated on, they were the bad guy because they probably neglected her. There's a presumption that the man is to blame a lot of the time. Men find a less sympathetic world. But in fairness, divorced men have it a little easier. Divorced men meet a young woman and the woman's like, instant family, just add me. That's great. You know, if he's got kids, it's like, oh, he's got kids. Look at how nurturing he is and how lovely. Women, they get divorced. They've got kids. Guys are like, whoop, it's got baggage. I'm not going near that. Men and women have different problems post-divorce, and the world could be better to both of them. I have some women who I've done their divorce, and whatever guy is with them is going to be very lucky because they're beautiful, they're smart, they're good moms, but they're also, vibrant, exciting women.
Now they're loaded.
And they've got money now. Yeah.
Divorce. Nice. Awesome. James Sexton needs to be protected at all costs.
I love him. I love him.
Shout out to James. I talked to him the other day. the thing about this is my first thought when I see that is that James keeps telling the truth. They're going to come after him. Like he keeps, because he's a divorce lawyer, he basically has a medical degree in divorce. Like he understands the concepts of it from a practical standpoint that even Mac and Murphy probably doesn't understand because he studies cheating. And I think, while he probably has his own biases as well, James really does try to express himself in a way to so that everyone can benefit. But man, he says some shit and he's saying the truth so much that I expect him on a DHS watch list at some point. Like he's telling too much truth, bro. Like that's the only thing. I'm worried for him. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? About divorce?
I love him. He's the best.
Well, we will have him on here just for you.
He's so awesome.
When we have him on here, we're gonna have him sit next to you.
I can't wait.
I have some thoughts. When he's saying if you cheat, you're the problem. If she cheats, you're the problem. I think that kind of roots from when a woman finally cheats, she's kind of done. Emotionally.
Yeah.
And when a man cheats, he could just go cheat real quick and come back and still be wanting to be in the relationship.
Men usually cheat because they're horny.
Yeah. Sexual, not
they're
intellectual.
Lonely or not getting what they need or over, like you said.
Right.
Not all the time, obviously.
But most of
but a lot of the time in relationships.
With people I know.
Women don't have super high testosterone like men. So
we're not just trying to go out and have sex.
No, I don't have to cheat. They're all cool with each other.
I
told you that's the key.
All the guys, they all collab on each other's OF, so they're friends.
She's yours tonight.
They met.
I didn't say they were all guys.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it was my turn.
Wait, you have to wear the hat before the show.
Okay, yes.
Beautiful. Did anybody else have any comments on James Sexton? Anybody?
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he is.
I think we're all on the same page with that.
So here's the thing. Brilliant. There are ideas that we all understand, but then there's different creative ways of expressing those ideas. A lot of times, I'm a fan of Joe Rogan. I'm a fan of Lex Friedman. I'm a fan of Andrew Huberman. And these guys will express ideas that maybe I've heard before. The example was, you brought this up to me, Chris Williamson saying something I've been saying for a long time, which is if you're a single man and you go to bed at 8:30, you're not going to be able to meet a girl. You don't have any idea how much hate I got for posting that. Now, I posted it before Chris Williamson. I don't know if he saw it from me or saw from somebody who saw from somebody who saw from me, but he posted the same thing, very similar. And his way of expressing it was different from mine. I just appreciate that different people have a different way of expressing it. When it comes to divorce, I think he expresses it better, more concisely, more succinctly than anybody in the world right now. So that's why I like listening to James. I like listening to James just tell stories. Even though I don't plan on getting a divorce, I still like listening to James talk.
I like the way he talks.
Yes.
It's very soothing.
Yeah.
You should do ASMR.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. All right, last one here. Coming up on time.
100 articles recently about how kids are getting radicalized by alpha male content. The blogs have tried everything to get the kids to stop watching. They even tried putting tampons in their bathroom. That didn't help. They tried telling them the men wear dresses now. That wasn't working. Because the guy over here is like, get pussy, get rich. And they're like, how about get gay and respect pussy? And they're like, I think I'm going to go with this guy. And then they're like, all right, final offer. How about you guys can play in women's sports? Is that doing anything for you? They even tried making videos telling men to cry. Have you ever seen those commercials? Where it'll be like a guy that looks like hard as fuck, like a Mexican gangster, and he'll be like, crying's not just for putos, you know? Or it'll be like a guy that's like a construction worker, and he'll be like, emotions are for cool guys. You find out that he wasn't a construction worker. It was an actor from Hollywood that they put in a construction worker outfit to say construction worker. Isn't that offensive to construction workers? A guy doing construction worker face and being like, we cry. Like, that's crazy. Like, what do you do for a living? Can you imagine they did a commercial where they put on an IT suit, and what's your name? Or they go, I'm Robert from IT, and I kiss my dad on the lips. IT guys hold hands with their friends. Can you imagine, guys, like we made our version of that commercial? We just get a girl from Hollywood, we put her in like a traditional outfit where she's just like a housewife, and she's like, as a woman, sometimes we do need to calm down. I speak for all feminists to say, we are overreacting often.
Thought we'd end with something funny.
That's pretty funny. Anybody have any thoughts? Any thoughts? Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
Like
I'm sick of simp men. I hate it all.
Okay.
I hate it all.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody
What's
think
your thought, Deja?
I feel like I agree with him. I don't like the agenda that's being pushed that men need to be, I guess, more feminine. I guess
Overly emotional.
Overly emotional.
Yeah.
But it is okay for a man to cry. And I feel like so many men have gone through so much trauma to where they're so hell-bent.
I think you need to earn that. Like, as a woman, you need to earn your man crying. Like, you need to give him a child or something.
I've had 3 men cry in my arms in the past 2 weeks.
What
the hell?
Like, I don't think they need to cry on the first date is what I'm saying.
Like, absolutely not, and I really hope you don't, because that's going to scare me.
Yeah. What'd you actually think of those guys after they cried?
Well, I've known them for a decent amount of time, so I didn't look at them.
Have you slept with either one of them?
Yes.
Okay. And then you stopped after they cried.
Lovely.
But that's not the point.
Kind of is, but yeah.
My point is that it is absolutely okay for men to cry. I don't agree with the agenda being pushed that.
Don't get on Instagram and cry. Don't do that. Cry in private.
No. Dude, and it's so often now. I'll get on TikTok. Do you know how many men I've seen crying on TikTok?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is okay. Honestly, for women too, though. Like, don't cry on social media.
It's so cringy. It's just cringy.
Do that in
all
your
around.
private time.
And I don't know, like, I don't mean to sound like insensitive, but like, I'm just not a very emotional person. But I do have emotions, you know?
Me too.
And I feel like it's fair for men to operate on the same, you know, not frequency, but you know what I'm trying to say.
You just need a man.
But Barbie, do you like it if a man cries for you? A man cries? Do you like that?
Don't worry, baby. I got
I like men.
Huh?
I like men.
You like men, but what if they cry? Do you like it when a man
Men should be
cries
men.
for you?
Men should be men.
Men should be men. They should not cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's what Mal would have done. I'm sorry. That was probably uncalled for. That was
and canceled.
I'm sorry. That was not appropriate to say. Anybody think maybe that alpha male content was really pervasive because it was true? Anybody think maybe that's the case?
Yes.
Like maybe
get rich, get pussy.
Maybe the idea like you would be better off getting rich and like focusing on yourself instead of women, so that women come along, or maybe that you being the problem solver and being the man who's more masculine and stoic might be more attractive to the opposite sex. Maybe that stuff kind of caught on and got very popular because it's true. Anybody ever think maybe that's the case? Maybe this isn't some fucking political agenda. Maybe it just actually the 2 + 2 = 4.
I think it's
twisted.
Maybe
It just gets a little twisted sometimes.
Agreed. No, I agree with you. I'm saying initially, I think the reason why it was so pervasive is number one, academia refused to discuss the decline of men wanting to take their own lives, unemployment, not going to college, all those other things. They refused to acknowledge that men could possibly suffer. That's the number one thing. And the number two thing is there was so much bad advice out there. So many dating coaches and matchmakers who knew, and pickup artists who had no idea what they were talking about and were giving men terrible advice. And so when good advice finally came out, it spread like wildfire because nobody had heard that in so long. And then social media platforms did everything they could to suppress it as quickly as possible. I think that might be the answer. But I'm just guessing. Huh? Okay, good. Real quick, let me read the last super chats.
Go.
Okay, ready? And then
we only got one.
Here we go. Fan funding here.
Rational Redneck.
Okay, Rational Redneck. In every other aspect of life, materially representing facts or financial or personal gain is called fraud. So why is paternity fraud not illegal? That's a really great point.
It should be. It's so horrible.
At least a civil case. That's
it's
pretty
so horrible. Don't do that,
if
ladies.
Someone pays years of child support and then they find out the kid's not theirs. Do they get any of that money back?
Of course not. Nope.
No.
Of course not. There's no
men shouldn't leave the kids either. It should be equal law.
Yeah. That's the way the state.
Oh, that's
designed
so
it.
horrible! Don't do that, girl.
Anyway, so we for all you ladies for joining, we want to say thank you. We got you a crate of baby oil. Can we bring the baby oil out?
Bring it in. I need it.
Great. Baby oil.
That's how I keep myself young.
To each other, and then if we do that, we end up making a hit album with Biggie. Is that how this works?
Give me one more chance.
Have you guys seen that whole thing?
Just don't be on
the reason why Biggie
Not Biggie. No.
The reason why Biggie Smalls was cross-eyed because he had to keep one eye on Diddy the whole time.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Who said that?
Hilarious. Awesome, man. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. We're going to see you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to do another one of these episodes in 2 weeks. And thank Barbie, did you have a good time? You're here for the costume competition tomorrow, right?
A towel?
Yeah.
How tomorrow?
Yes.
You're here for, did you have a good time?
Yes, I have a good time always.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes.
Claire, what do you think about the show?
The show.
Claire, what do you think about the show?
Excellent.
Yeah, exactly. Just take it.
No, it was a good one.
Yeah?
I think it was fun.
That's awesome. I'm so happy.
That's
Claire
awesome.
just makes me happy. I don't know why. She just makes me happy whenever she comes on here. Spencer.
Love these shows.
Yeah?
Hilarious.
Good
these
stuff.
clips.
Yeah? Deja?
I think it was great. Good energy.
Good. Come back soon. Bex?
Well, last time I was nominated for president here.
Yeah?
But I had a great time, and I cannot wait to meet James Sexton.
Yes, we'll have James on here for you. You can wear a shirt.
And
you
now
wear that hat that
James
says "Make Pussy Expensive Again."
James is planning his flight right now.
Yeah, he is. Cheyenne, what do you think?
Can't wait.
I think it's always very interesting, and I go home thinking about these things afterwards and argue with myself.
Nice. Wes?
I always love having these discussions with viewpoints that I normally don't see, just like how you have to convince two other people.
Yeah.
I like having multiple perspectives to be very informed about my decisions.
Beautiful. Tristan?
It's good to be on as always, and I'm excited to start doing the show more often because we're going to start hosting and do these shows more. And Beth will be our co-host.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. And I didn't know Wes like girls. What's up, baby? What are you doing later?
Are you serious?
Going to the hippo.
Two for two on the podcast.
Do you think? Never mind. Cree, what do you think?
Alvaro's like, please, oh please, oh please.
I feel a threesome coming.
Cree, what do you think of the show?
I always have a great time.
Yeah.
And I'm really appreciative of everyone's perspectives. I'm happy to hear it. And I also take all this stuff into, account when I judge situations. I take everyone's perspective into account. So I love to hear it. No one's wrong. Everyone's right.
Incredible.
I'm happy to be here.
That's right. No one's wrong. Everyone's right.
All right, guys.
We love you, Cree.
Another great
Love you guys.
episode. We're so happy everybody came out here. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. And remember, ladies, he only cheats on you because he loves you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
I'm only in love with